On this episode of Street Rat Garage, we are back at the Indianapolis impound lot, and we are looking at vehicles that are actually nice. So we might not be able to afford them, but it just goes to prove that sometimes you can find good, pricey vehicles at the police impound lot. Let's go check them out. All right, the first one up on our list of not so bad cars is this 2017 Mercedes. Now, there's no key for this one, so we don't know how many miles are on it as well. This is a nice car, but it is a gamble car. If we look at it, it looks like it was involved in a little bit of an accident. It's all muddy there. I don't want to step in it, but this one, not so bad. Pretty clean interior on it. Wonder how much it costs to have a key made for that thing. Boy, those brakes are jacked up. Somebody was ran their pads out on that one. Like it's been sitting there.
Motor in it, it's locked up.
Oh. Has a bad engine. Oh, look at that. Nobody has changed the oil on that in forever.
The last oil change was $41,000.
So yeah, somebody did not care about this car. The brake pads are run all the way down and it has brake dust all along the side. So nobody did any maintenance on this car at all.
That's where I brought my tools with me.
Now, as you can see behind me, there's actually some sunshine and some blue skies. So today is a nice day, and with a nice day brings out more people. So that is probably gonna run our bidding up because a lot of people are actually coming out looking at these cars. It's the beginning of spring and people are gonna need to buy vehicles. So we'll see how much this affects the price of these cars. Next up on our not so bad list is this Jeep. It is a 2015, 129,000 miles on it. Has keys and goes in a gear, all that good stuff. So this was probably brought in because somebody was doing something they weren't supposed to do, and well, they probably didn't have a driver's license. And they got their car impounded, and then they didn't have any money to get it back. I mean, they had a little bit of money apparently, but it went to impound. They couldn't get it back. They let it go. They probably still owed money on it, and strange thing, when you owe money on the car lot is notified if it's a buy here, pay here lot, or the bank is notified. But sometimes it's easier and cheaper for the bank just to write it off, sue the person, maybe get some money, maybe not get some money, or just write it off totally altogether. And then just let it be sold at auction. They give up their rights to this car. So just because there's a lien holder does not mean it can't be resold at auction, because the lien holder is notified and given the opportunity to pick it up. If they don't, well, guess what? The lien is null and void. It's a 2.4 liter, so these are okay engines, not the best, but I'd say this goes for about 2,500 bucks. Now here's the one that everybody's gonna want. This, I don't know why this is here. It's a 2019 Chevy Silverado Z71. Only 122,000 miles, which is low for this car. It runs and drives, all that good stuff. This is a good looking truck. I mean, really good looking truck. I think it already has a bid of like $10,000 on it, which would be super, super cheap. It's definitely gonna go way more. 15 grand, I think would still be cheap on this one, but oh, what's it look like on the inside? What's this for? That's not good. Sometimes these have a fusible link that blow, but they said this one runs and drives. Why is the back window open? Oh, it's broken. Somebody stole this truck. Aha. How do you get, man, it must have been a skinny guy to get in that window. But yeah, I'm gonna say this is a stolen one, and it was not recovered in a timely fashion. Fuse cover is off. So if it's not recovered in a timely fashion, then yeah, insurance probably paid for this one, and it was found eventually, and they don't want it. They've already written it off. So that's quite a big write-off, I would say. But that is going to be my best guess is what happened to this one. Now, this is a nice truck. I would love to have this one, but yeah, can't quite afford that much. Yeah, it's got vacuum cleaners in it. So cleaning crew, wow, cleaning crew own this one, I'm gonna say. Wow, this is a nice truck, unbelievable. This is one of the best vehicles that's gone through this auction in quite some time. Not bad at all. It's got the good old LT new engine in it. What's that, port injection? Oh, the battery's gone. They took the battery. It's probably a $200 battery. This is impressive. I can't wait to see what this one goes for. And next up on our super nice cars is this 2015 Challenger, 116,000 miles on it, and it runs and goes into gear, all that good stuff. This is also a nice one, which will fetch a pretty fair price indeed. Wonder why it was towed in. It's dirty on the inside. Any clues? Has power. It's cracked up on the windshield. So, wonder how much a windshield costs for one of these things. I'm sure this isn't cheap, but probably $600-700, maybe $1,000. So, keep that in mind when you're bidding on this car. It's automatic transmission, just has the V6 in it. No big supercar or anything, but it's a nice driver, that's for sure. I am gonna guess this one to go about $6,500. It's nice, but it's not special in any way. I mean, it's just scuffed up. It has not been treated very well. It had a temporary tag on it though. So somebody probably just bought this and maybe the repo guy never found it and it got impounded for, not having the right plates on it, I would guess. So, well, we'll see what this one goes for, but about $6,500. And we have the 2015 BMW, and they're actually starting it up for us today. Yeah, that is nice. It's a twin power turbo as well. That ought to be a pretty quick car. This one's super nice. This is going to go for probably about the same amount of money as that truck, I would imagine. 2015, 136,000 miles on it. And nice interior. Laid back seats, so maybe somebody got arrested on this one, I would guess. Yeah, this is a nice car all the way around. It had a temporary license plate on it too, so probably somebody bought a car and couldn't pay for it and left it sit somewhere or got arrested. That would be my best guess. Oh, it's full of stuff in the back too. Yeah, somebody had a really nice car, but appeared to be homeless. Oh yeah. Not only do you get a car, you get all of their stuff as well. This still has a dealer's guide in the back window. Check that out. That was on a car lot. Los Primos Auto Sales in Iowa. It's come all the way from Iowa. Huh. Wonder if this went out for a test drive and never came back. Have to see how much this goes for. Well, it looks like the BMW is being pulled from the sale, so we won't see that one go through. But they said maybe next week, but maybe somebody's coming up and picking that one up. So it's on hold for at least one more week. But to make up for it, he got this 2012 Honda with 268,000 miles on it. They actually did start this one up too, but it kept dying. I think the key fob is bad on it. So this would be a pretty good deal for somebody because this does run, it does start. I believe the security feature is making this one die though. So not a bad vehicle at all. I'm gonna guess it was owned by a girl. Just my best guess. A little phone holder, and it was being driven, looks like on a daily basis. Don't know why it was impounded, but again, there's a lot of people that drive these cars that don't have driver's license. A lot of people go out and buy a car, spend the money, put the down payment on the car, but they don't get their driver's license straightened out first. People get tickets and they don't pay them, but they will go out and buy a used car and spend, $3,000 down to get it instead of paying for their tickets. Then get pulled over, their car goes to impound, and they don't have any more money. Then it gets sold off at auction, where you can make a good deal on the car. Well, we're making our way over to the B lot where all the fun stuff is. It's usually not as good of stuff in this lot, but we do have this 2015 Taurus. It's been hit though, so I don't know about this one. But if you could fix that A-arm or that cradle and pull that out a little bit, I guess it would be a good car. I don't know if this qualifies for our good car list or not, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in here because it should not be that bad of a fix. It's 134,000 miles and it runs and drives. It was just in that accident. Ugh, airbags went off on the side. Why would they go off on this side when you hit on that side? I guess it pushes you the opposite way. So why do you need those airbags? I don't know, but they do. So that might be a little bit more expensive fix. I don't know. Well, I'm gonna say $2,000, $2,500 on this one. We are starting to run out of our really good cars in our good car list, but this is a 16. It has 113,000 miles on it. It runs. This, like the Taurus, was involved in an accident, but it's a little bit lighter, I would say, than the Taurus. At least you can just take this door off and replace it, and this door too. Well, you might be able to fix that one. What's with the side airbags? That's an expensive part. Side airbags are off. That door's bent. So, well, I wonder how much that costs. Anybody know how much it costs to replace some side airbags? They're off on this side too. Looks like it blew all four and in the seats. I bet that's probably $3,000 maybe. What do you think? You think it costs that much to replace that airbag plus those doors? This one might not be worth it. And another damaged newer vehicle. 15 went into gear, runs, drive. Well, obviously it was an accident. It has blown airbags too. Not the side ones, but the two front ones, because it was hit here. And that whole fascia damaged and would have to be replaced. Windshield and front airbags. What? Another $3,000 on that one? Huh. I'm gonna say this one. Oh, it's an Impala though. People like Impalas for some reason. I'm not a fan myself, but hey, to each their own. It's not about what you like, it's about what sells. What's it like on the inside? Oh, the bottom airbag's blown too, and the two tops, but does it have side and seats? I imagine it does, but they're not blown. The rest of the interior is nice. Wonder if those seat belts, yep, the seat belts are locked. So there's a little, I think there's a canister or something you have to replace in there. This is starting to add up. Let's say about $3,000 on this one, I would guess. That'd be my best guess. Now, I know a lot of you people do not like the Kias or the Hyundais, but bear with me now. 142,000 miles, 16, the ignition is broke. There's always one in here that's been stolen. So, I mean, these will go a couple 100,000 miles. So, check the oil on them. They seem to run out of oil and blow the engines. But, I mean, this has not been maintained very well, at least not on the inside. This is definitely a dirty person. Wonder why somebody would even want to steal this. This is disgusting. I mean, there's plenty of these things. Still a nice one. But if this goes for like $1,000, why not drive it? I mean, handles are messed up. The fender's a little bit messed up. But we already know this runs. It was stolen. Don't know if that was done when it was stolen or when it was done before. The door handle's missing on this side too. Looks like it was flopping around for quite a while right there. The window's been left down for a couple months, so I'm sure it smells real good inside. But still, I mean, this will get you back and forth to work. You just have to, you know, keep an eye on your maintenance. Keep it oil inside the engine. It'll still drive. It'll still go for quite a while. Well, I don't see much more that is worth looking at on our, higher end vehicles, but definitely something worth considering when you come out here. It's not only stolen and wrecked vehicles that they have here, but they do have some rather nice cars and trucks that you can bid on and get a good deal, hopefully a good deal, on a dependable vehicle. Get you back and forth to work or whatever you need it for. So let's go back inside and see what these go for. And we are back inside and ready to start bidding. We are going to go through here and look to see how things are going in the marketplace. It is springtime now, and things may have picked up or may have started to slide downward. Hard to tell sometimes. So let's get started. So first, right off the bat, we have the 2017 Mercedes, which it started going up as soon as the bidding opened on it. It was like 25. Now it's sitting at 36. Now we don't know a whole lot about this car. That guy that was looking at it in the video, he said that he put a wrench on it and tried to turn the engine, and he couldn't turn the engine. So it would appear, I didn't check it myself, but it appears that it would need a new engine. And just judging from all that brake dust where those rotors were ground down, it looked like they didn't take care of the car at all. He did pull the dipstick on that, and I did look at the oil, and it was a little bit chunky. So I could believe that this needs a new engine for sure, because who would leave a 2017 Mercedes, just sitting alongside the road somewhere abandoned? And this was towed in off of the street. I don't know if we can see the tag, but there's a tag right there from where it was impounded. So it was left somewhere on the street like it broke down. So this is going for, I don't know, a lot of money. I don't know how much these go for, but somebody is going to have to put a lot of work into this car in order to get it back out on the road. You can see the trash that's inside of this car. It is not an old car. What, like 8 years old? And it should not be in this condition at all. So it's still going. And people are still bidding on it. $6,000 so far. Now, don't forget again about those buyer's fees. So $6,100 gets you $7,390, and with all the buyer's fees. I mean, look at the rust, or the rust that's flaked off the rotors onto the body panel. This is when you can tell somebody does not take care of the car. Plus, it was crunched a little bit in the front end as well. So yeah, right there, it got into a slight front end collision. They didn't care about it. They left it alongside of the road, but somebody's willing to give $6,300, $7,620 with auction fees. That is something. Let's see if it's gonna go here for that kind of money. Yep, there it goes. Over $7,000 for that thing, plus probably $5,000 to get it running again. Okay. Oh, plus, another couple, $2,000-$3,000 in body damage. All right. And now next on to the next one here. Okay, and our next up on the not so bad car list is the 2015 Jeep Patriot. I mean, these brand new, they sell for some pretty good money. This one, how many miles are on this one? This one has 129,000 miles, which is not a whole lot of miles for one of these vehicles. I mean, these are, how much are these new? Like 40 grand or something goofy. So it's 9 years old, and it still has a lot of life left in it. And the current bid is $3,000 with $767 worth of fees on it. So that's nice round number there. You know exactly how much you're paying in fees. You're paying $767 in fees right there. So $3,100 is a bid, but $3,882.50 is with fees and what have you. But this is in good shape. It runs, it drives, still, even with the fees, it's a good deal. So that's why you always bid off of this little bitty small number down here, because one more bid and it's going to be over $4,000 with only a $3,200 bid on it. So are they going to bid it up to $4,000? Let's find out. Everything seems to be good on it. It's decent on the inside. There's not, just doesn't appear to be anything wrong with this. So there it is, $3,200, just under $4,000, $3,900 with the fees and everything. So good deal on that one. And immediately up is our the one that we've been looking for, the 2019 Silverado. So that guy, it's booming. it's $10,000. So I predicted it would go for about $15,000. At $15,000, it really should go more than $15,000. But if it does, that's going to be a good deal. And it just sold for $11,000. See, that was, I believe, a glitch in the program. It should not have sold. People were bidding hard and heavy, and it just timed out. So I wish I had the money to spend on that. I would definitely give that kind of money for a 19 truck. That was the deal of the day. That has got to be the deal of the day. You can't get a truck for that kind of money. No way. Wow. Okay, next we have our Dodge Challenger, our 2015 Dodge Challenger with a V6 in it that has keys, engine runs, and went into gear. So I said about $4,500 on it. It's already at $4,400. So that's $5,000 with bidding fees on that. So now the bid's at $4,500. So that was my maximum amount that I thought it would go for, but it's going to go higher than that. So I'm still in the ballpark so far, if it slows down. But it's still a good deal, I would say. Even if it gets up to $6,000, I would not go for $6,000 on this car, but they're at $5,800 right now. It's a $4,800 bid on it. It's a nice looking car. It just had a few little scratches on it. Nothing that won't buff out. I'm sure somebody bought this car and did not make the payments on it. And they probably left it somewhere, got impounded, and they thought it got repossessed. That would be my best guess. And even if they didn't, they probably didn't have the money to get it out of impound. $4,900, $5,900, so that's $1,000 in auction fees. $1,552 in auction fees to be exact. So boom, it just hit $5,000 mark. And $6,200 with the fees, $6,300, $6,400 with the fees. So they need to stop soon. There's $6,500. There's a mark that I would definitely stop at, but they're not. It's $6,700 now. It would be hilarious if this went for more than that truck, but it's not. Looks like they're going to stop at $6,700. A little bit more than I would want to pay, but I guess if you like the car, you like the car. And if you have $6,700, $6,800 now to spend on it, you're all in. It has 116,000 miles on it, which is, I don't know. It seems a touch high, but right there in the ballpark is about where the miles should be nowadays. So it'd been nicer if it had a few less miles on it. Let's see if it goes $6,900. So bid is $5,700 with $6,930 with all of your auction fees. But running, driving car, hopefully there's nothing else wrong. Hopefully it has all the gears in it. Let's see if it goes for they bid on again $7,100. Will it go for $7,100? Somebody really wants this car. $7,100. It's gonna have to run through one more time, but we have no idea why this was impounded or where it was impounded for. We just know it's not an abandoned vehicle, and it probably came in on a traffic stop. And it did have I think it had the temporary license plate on the back. Yeah, I had a temporary license plate that was probably expired, given the reason to be pulled over and then have no driver's license. And there it goes. Oh, it sold for, what I say now, I forgot the price. Under $7,000. So there you go. I still would have bought the truck over the Challenger, but it's a okay deal, I guess, on the Challenger. I wouldn't give that much for it. So on to the next one. All right, we are up on our Honda. That's the Civic that starts and dies for probably the key fob reason. It has 268,000 miles. That's a lot of miles, but for a Honda, not so bad. So right now you're getting a 2012 with a bunch of miles on it that has a slight problem, probably, hopefully, with just a key fob. And so you're talking a couple $100 to probably get a new key and key fob made on it. And $2,100, $2,700 with auction fees right now. If they slow that down and stop bidding on it, somebody's going to get a good deal. But if they keep hitting it like that, it starts not to get worth it. Oh, the interior is so ugly on this car. But to each their own on taste, I guess. But that's all AutoZone, Pep Boys, O'Reilly's, the cheapest of the cheap in there that you can buy that junk for. So $2,500 looks like it's slowing down. $3,100, $3,200, $3,267. Well, I thought it was slowing down on the bids there. Now it's slowing down. There you go. $2,600, $200 on the bids there. So on to our next car. Now we have our 2016 Kia Optima. So like I said before, a lot of you guys don't like the Kias, don't like the Honda. It's about 142,000 miles on the car. Slight damage. The ignition's broke from where somebody stole it. You know it runs. This one was filthy. It was really nasty on the inside. But that's what you want. And it's going a little bit higher than I thought. So I guess everybody doesn't hate this car. The bidding's already up to $2,100. Almost $2,700 in auction fees. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty easy one to put back together and make some money. And it's definitely going higher than what I thought it would for a 2016. Yeah, so I don't know how much these are worth retail when they're all fixed up, but I definitely going to say that a 2016 is worth more than $3,100. Cleaned up a little bit with the ignition switch fixed. It runs, it drives. It was a stolen vehicle, so it's probably still in pretty good shape. Clean this thing up. This is what you want to see. You want to see some nice dirty interior so you can clean it up. A lot of people are going to take a lot of money off just because they don't want to clean up the car. And that's not a hard thing to do. $3,200 it looks like with taxes and fees. So there you go. Somebody made a pretty good deal on that, I would say, even though I know, again, not everybody likes the Kias, not everybody likes the Hyundais, but they still get down the road. They still get you about 250,000 miles, give or take, if you check the oil and make sure it's not burning too much oil and blowing the engines out. So on to the next one. All right, here we go with our Taurus, our 2015 Ford Taurus. It is a nicer, newer car, but it did have that damage on the side of it. Is it worth putting this thing back together? And it had the, did it have the blown airbags on this one? I think it had the curtains, I had the side impact curtains that came down. So you got quarter panel quarter panel damage and a little bit on the doors. I can't remember if is this $1,800? So I was not paying attention to that one, but it went for $1,800 plus, seller's fee. I didn't see it, but it must have been like $2,200 on that one. Now, I would think that car would be worth $2,200, whatever the fees were on that car, just to put it back together. Even if you just made it run again, having a newer car like that, it should be worth that kind of money just to be able to drive it back and forth. I'm sure for about $400 or $500, you can get that wheel moved back over. Just leaning in just a little bit, move it back over, fix that rear A-arm, whatever's wrong with that on the rear end, and drive it down the road and just keep on going as is. I mean, it doesn't have to look the greatest. It looks good on one side, and it's a little beat up on the other side, but I would have to say that would be a good deal to get that car. So moving on. And here is our Malibu, our 2016 Malibu that was damaged a little bit on the side, kind of like the Ford Taurus. And another quick sell, $3,200 on that one. Now that would definitely be a decent deal. It's a 2016, and I can't remember how many miles it had on it, but definitely worth getting. Where was that car? Can we go back to that one to see what kind of money that brought? I don't think we can see the total price on it, but I would kind of like to see the miles on it. There it is. So $3,200, and auction fees would probably be about $700. So I think just under $4,000 that one must have sold for. That one was running and driving, and how many miles did that have on it? It had 113,000 miles on it, so still a lot of life left on it. Pretty easy fix on that one. Change out the door, and the other one you could probably repair or change it out too. They don't have a good close-up picture of that door, unfortunately. But if I remember right, that back door had some damage on it too. So change out this door and change out that door, fix this, and you have probably, I would say $8,000 car going for you for $4,000. So good deal on that one. Good score. Okay, so we will not be moving on, actually. That was the last one on our good car list. So we did have the truck. We had the Challenger, a few decent ones in between there. So I would say for the police impound auction, these are good cars. You might not agree with, all of my choices, but they are inexpensive. You gotta admit that. Those were some pretty good deals on those vehicles. But if you want to see more and some higher priced vehicles, I will be going to the Indiana public auction, which has nicer cars, maybe in a couple weeks. So we'll check that out. And there is another auction, a live auction that I want to go to. We haven't done a raise your hand auction yet, so we're going to have to go and check one of those out. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Street Rat Garage. Until next time.